Hey everybody, it's Ian the Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to be playing around with a jelly plate, which I've never really used before. For those of you who are unfamiliar with a jelly plate, it is literally a slab of jelly that you use different mediums on. So you can use alcohol inks on it, you can use acrylic paints, you can use watercolor, you can use all sorts of different kinds of materials on the jelly plate. I don't know if watercolor would work that well, but you could do it. It's all about experimentation and kind of playing with different textures, different layers, different applications of materials, lots of different ways to use it. And today I'm gonna be kind of experimenting with it. I'm getting tongue-tied because I don't even really know what I'm saying, but basically I'm gonna play today and you're gonna see what I created using the outcome of that playing. So let's go ahead and check out how I put these cards together. So this is what I am going to be working with today. It is a ginormous 12 by 12 gel plate from Speedball. I have never used a gel plate before, nor have I used a gel plate that is this big. So we're going to be kind of playing today. I have set aside some time to kind of play around and see what I can do with this. I don't know what its capabilities are or even really how to use it. I have a basic idea where you spread paint or some kind of medium. I've seen people use alcohol inks, acrylic paints, or there's a lot of different things that people use. And then they use a brayer. How do you say that? Brayer or briar? Anyways, I have a Lilla Griffith one that I bought specifically for this process, mostly because this part pops off and you can clean it that way. So it seems to be a little easier to clean and then it pops right back in again. So we're gonna kind of play around with that. I have some Artist Loft acrylic paint, which is the academic level, the cheap stuff that you can find at Michael's or Joann's, I think. And then I also have some golden paint that is left over from my ATC that I created a couple months back. I think that was either May or June, something like that. So I have this extra phthalo blue, yellow Hansa yellow medium, and then Namthal red light. We'll go with that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open this up and get it unpackaged, and I'll meet you back as soon as I get that all done. I was a little confused because on the back, or on the front I should say, it says see back for step-by-step guide. And I was looking back here and reading and I'm like, well, I don't see anything. And then I realized it's this, you do it like this. So basically we're gonna spread whatever medium we want. We'll put some sort of a blocking layer or something that will kind of mask off certain areas. Put the paper onto, oh wait, no, sorry, it goes this way. Paint, and then smooth it out, and then put the topper on, and then smooth the back of the paper, and then pull off our print, and we'll have that. All right, so here is the jelly plate. Oops, just got stuff flying everywhere. Here is the jelly plate itself. It has a protective coat on it right now, or protective cover. My goodness, Facebook is just blowing up right now. Facebook Messenger, that is. It does have a protective cover on it right now, so I'm going to pull that protecting cover off one side. Whenever you do use a gel plate, make sure that you clean it off after you're done. I'm leaving the other protective plastic on the back right now since it's going to be just sitting on my mat. I don't need to pull that side off, but I will whenever I go to clean this surface off. I think that will probably be best. I did want to mention that this was given to me by Kira, who is one of my subscribers and friends here on YouTube. So thank you, Kira, for letting me play with this. And it feels, I mean, it's a jelly plate, so it feels kind of funny, but all right, let me grab some paper and we'll get started. I think I said let's get started twice, but anyways, now we're really going to get started this time. I have a piece of, I think this is either 60 or 80 pound cardstock. I believe it's 60, just normal everyday cardstock that you'd find at Michael's and Joann's. And we're gonna go ahead and load up some paint. I think I want to start with some yellow and some red, so I'm just gonna put a little bit right onto the plate, just like that. It doesn't even take, I think I probably put too much, to be honest, but we'll mix in some yellow now. Put it right there. All right, so now I'm gonna take my brayer and kind of mush this onto my plate a little bit. Woo, it's sliding all over the place. Probably went a little too far over with that, but you know, it's okay. And I'm putting a little bit of line in it whenever I'm doing that, but that's okay. Alright, cool thing about the brayer is when you flip it over, it sits upright, so that way you don't have to worry about you know, getting too far down in it, or like accidentally setting it down and getting paint everywhere. When you turn it over like that, it's just fine. Okay, let's find, I probably should have been thinking about what I would put on top of it before I spread out all of that paint, but I'm a dumb butt and I wasn't thinking. Oh, I know. Alright, so what I'm, okay, I have this die cut left over from a project that I was doing at some point, and this could be a really cool die cut to use on a project, but I think for today's project I may just sacrifice it, and I'm trying to decide which way I want to put it. I wonder if the blue would pick up. I don't know. Alright, we'll stick it down like that. I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to lay it right across. Then I'm going to use my fingers and hand, and I'm just going to rub this piece of paper straight on, and I might even take my brayer on the opposite side and just kind of rub this piece of paper straight down into all that paint, hoping that I pick it up onto the plate. I'm crossing my, or from the plate onto the sheet of paper. I have no idea what I'm doing, guys, but I'm just kind of playing with this, and we'll see what cool stuff we can create, right? Okay, so I think I've pretty much pushed my paper in as much as possible. Let's see what happens when I peel it up. This is the nerve-wracking part, right? That did not work out as nicely as I had hoped for, so that kind of sucks, but I probably waited way too long, and I might try and missed. Maybe if I missed. Well, that was just kind of an epic fail. Alright, let's do a little bit of water on here and see what happens. Just for the fun of it. I'm gonna put the paper straight back down. Again, I'm running my fingers really deeply into my piece of paper. Did it work this time? Let's find out. I wonder if I can, like, that looks pretty cool actually. Nope. Just not working. Alright, so I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna think a little bit more and see if I can figure out what's going on. Be right back. Okay, I think that first attempt was a failure because I let it dry instead of actually like doing what I was supposed to do and stick everything down and make it happen. I sat there and let it all dry. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna moisten this a little bit, just a hair, just to maybe get things going a little bit. And then I'm going to add my paint on again, and this time I'm not gonna let it sit. I'm going to, maybe I wasn't putting enough on last time either. I don't know. All right, we'll try that. We'll start off with that and see what happens. Okay, this is much better. Not so much pressure. I'm not pushing the paint into it. I'm kind of just gliding the paint across the surface, which is what I want. So now I'm gonna take my shapes and just kind of randomly set them in. I feel like I should be rushing, but I shouldn't have to like rush so much. It should be just fine. So we'll do that. All right. So now I'm gonna take my piece of paper, put it over top again, and again I'm gonna use my fingers and push it into it. I'm even gonna grab my Cricut brayer, and since there's not anything dirty on this side, not dirty, but there's no paint on this side, so hopefully that won't get that one dirty. And now, crossing my fingers that it works this time. Please work, please work. Okay, all right. There we go. That's kind of fun. That almost looks like a fidget spinner the way it is. Okay, so there's that. I'm gonna clean this up and we'll try to do another one. That's interesting looking, and I kind of like that texture that it's got to it. Okay, next up I'm gonna take some Artist Loft paint and, whoops, it's dried out a little bit apparently in the cap. Let's hope that the rest of the paint isn't like that. Alright, just do a little drizzle of blue, just like so. And I'm gonna grab my brayer and just kind of gently, that may have been way too much, but you know, it's fine. It's all fine. It's all good. So I'm just gonna kind of spread it out across the plate. Yeah, that was maybe too much, but it's fine. And I think one of the things that I'm learning as I'm doing this is not to push down too hard. You want it to roll. You want the brayer to roll. You don't want it to, like, if I push too hard, it's just kind of skimming the surface. It's actually not spreading the paint out evenly. So tis a gentle hand that will rule the land, as the whatever it is says. Okay, so kind of have that. So now I'm going to take my little speech bubbles, and that was wet. I'm just going to kind of drop them in randomly. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. So there's our little speech bubbles. Okay, cool. Let me clean this off and we'll try something else. Okay, I have some metallic white that I am putting onto the plate now. I didn't truly clean off the blue. It's still going to be kind of mixed in a little bit, which we'll see how that works, because I didn't clean off the brayer completely, but I'm kind of hoping it mixes in a little bit. So let's see. Okay, so I have my white kind of spread out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these stars, just lay them on top, and then I'm gonna take my brayer and I'm going to go over them. And this is a piece of felt. So I have a piece of felt that I used the Cricut to cut all these stars out with. And I think we'll see if it works the way I'm hoping for it to work. Okay, kind of. So I actually pulled off a layer of the stars, and I'm kind of loving this. So I think I'm gonna put this back in on top of here, and then we'll roll it out and see what happens. All right, let's see what happens when I pull it up. Okay, that's kind of cool looking. I like that a lot. And especially because it has a pearlescent kind of shine to it. Yeah, loving how that turned out. And there's still a little bit of paint on here, so let's just go ahead and take another piece of paper and see what kind of goodies we can pull from this. I think this is called second generation pulling, This may be even third. I can't even remember how many pulls I've done on this one. So let's see what happens now. I'm getting really inky tonight while working on this. Ha! Yep, I got some. Now that's cool. Oh man, that's neat. Okay, I think that's going to be all the exploration and fun that I do tonight. I went a little crazy. It just I just started playing with it just to see what would happen, trying different techniques and trying to layer it as well. That turned out pretty cool as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything cleaned up, and we'll come back tomorrow and try to make a card using what we created today. I have let my creations dry overnight, so they are all dry and ready to go today, and I'm really quite impressed with how they came out. This is the first go at it, so I still have some more practice to do with them for sure to get hopefully better at the whole process. But I'm really loving what they came out to look like, and I'm loving the pearlescent kind of white color that is on these sheets because it came out really well. I would have liked to have seen some more blue come through on this one, but you know, it is what it is. It's kind of, you're up to the mercy of whatever happens. I'm not terribly fond of this one. I think I could have done a much better job, but I'm sure I can still use it for something. I think this is one of my favorites. I love this one a lot, and I think the orange and yellow and red all came out really, really well with the circles on it too. I think that looks great. So now comes the time when I need to decide what I'm going to do with these. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Simon Says Stamped Stitched Rectangle dies. And I think I'm going to use my largest one on my panel here because I really like how that looks. I think that looks pretty awesome. So I'm going to go through and decide what part of each one of these I want to cut out and then die cut. Alright, so I've cut out all of my panels and I've got a lot to work with. I don't think I'm going to be putting all of these together today, but I do know that I want to use some of them. I really love this design a lot, so I'm going to be using that one today. I'm going to use this one today, and then one of these. I think I like this one best. So we'll make these 4 into a card today. and we'll save the rest for another day. So with these, I really want to focus on the design of what I've made more than anything else. So I think I'm going to be adding a simple sentiment to the front of each card, but I'm going to go ahead and use some Tombow Extreme adhesive first. I'm going to go ahead and put each of these card panels onto the card base. And of course my extreme adhesive ran out. I'll have to get some more from Michael's or Joann's. So I'm going to be putting the rest of these on with the ATG gun from Scotch. I don't think I mentioned it yet, but I'm using a 100-pound Nina Desert Storm cardstock to apply, or for the card bases that I'm applying these pieces onto. Have you ever had one of those days that things just don't go right? Well, now my ATG gun is now out as well. So, alrighty then. We'll figure out something else as soon as I get this stuck down. Alright, hopefully the last adhesive I'll be using today is score tape, which I had here on my desk. Always make sure that you have plenty of adhesive and don't go to a crop without proper supplies, that's for sure. This tape will work well as I'm adhering my panels. It's very, very strong tape, so this should work nicely. Alright, for the sentiment, I'm going to be using the Concord and 9th Everyday Greeting stamp set. I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. I always feel like I'm short on Happy Birthday cards. I really need to probably make some more. So this is a great opportunity for me to do that. Even though these aren't birthday themed cards per se, it still is great to have some just kind of generic cards that can go for birthday, or you know, whatever you want to make of it. I'm using the clear side. This is my Tim Holtz stamp platform from Tonic Studios, and I love this thing so much. So I'm also going to use some VersaFine ink with it as well, and I'm stamping onto just regular white cardstock, nothing too crazy or too special. I am going to stamp this out twice on this piece of paper because I'm making 4 cards today, so I need to have this sentiment done 4 times. And that actually stamped out quite nicely right there, so I'll just flip it around and do the same thing again. Okay, we're going to cut fishtails into the ends of all these, and I'm just going to do that by slitting it straight up the middle, or as close to the middle as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect. I am off kilter a little bit, but you know, that's part of my cards and my signature, is being a little off kilter. So I'm just going to go then from each corner up to that point, and there it gives you a fishtail. Okay, now it's time to add on our sentiments, and now I'm switching, again, another adhesive, to the Scotch adhesive roller, excuse me, and I'm just going to apply it onto the back of the fishtail portion, and I don't want it overlapping the edge too far because I don't want to have a sticky side just hanging out there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to probably put it right about there, I think, and stick that down right there. Then I'm going to flip it over onto the back, and I'm going to take my pair of scissors, rest it up against the card edge, so that way I'm not cutting the card itself, and then I'm just going to cut straight across. There you go. There we go, there's all 4 cards that I made today, and I did decide to go ahead and switch it up and use thanks on 2 of them and happy birthday on 2 of them. That way I have more thank you cards as well available at my disposal. So as you can see, jelly plates offer unlimited versatility and options and things that you can do with it. It is a learning curve. There is a learning curve to it, right? So it takes a little bit of time. I'm still playing with it, and I can't wait to get dirty again, because you get dirty whenever you're doing it. Wow, that sounded really bad. But anyways, it really does get everywhere, and it is a fun time. Just make sure that you are sparing yourself enough time to really get into it and have some fun. I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, let YouTube know that you like my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it across YouTube land. Also, if you're not already, hit that button down below that says subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and get great updates every time I post a new video or go live. You can also check me out on my social media accounts or spaces. Make sure to do that by checking out all those links down in the description below. Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, which I'm not really on anymore, but I still say it anyways. Twitter, all those places. Make sure to go check those out. I've been a lot more active on Instagram, by the way. Just putting that out there. So make sure to go check out all those great places down in the description below. I hope everybody has a great day. Remember guys, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Bye!